Hello, good afternoon. I'm Ijega from Halim University. Actually, we have a prolonged case of COVID-19, so against this backdrop, why should it be implemented by central government as well as the disease control authorities? In the previous session, Professor Kim Woo-ju introduced the various policies about COVID-19 that can be implemented across the world, and in my presentation, I'm going to talk about policies that can be implemented across the nation. So I'm going to share some suggestions as well. So we are actually living together with the virus. This is a book published by myself. We actually have a COVID-19 situation for the last few months, so we should have coexistence with the virus, and we need to come up with the necessary policies in order to deal with the COVID-19 cases. Then why should we change it? And on the national level, why should we prepare? That is the main topic of my presentation. In the year 1918, there was a Spanish influenza pandemic, and back then, about 1/3 of the world population was infected, and about 50 million people lost their lives because of a Spanish influenza pandemic. There was no treatments and no vaccines, so we compare COVID-19 cases with the Spanish influenza pandemic. And Hong Kong flu and SARS and the swine flu, those are another cases, even though we have the vaccines and treatments, and those viruses come up again, and that re-emerge every this season. That becomes the seasonal flus. So we have the pandemic across the world regarding COVID-19 case, even though we have a vaccine that might re-emerge again, so we should live together with the COVID-19. With the vaccine developments, and I believe we can have some improved cases of COVID-19, but still that will come back to us every season as a seasonal flu. This is a Spanish the influenza pandemic, and in the initial stage, the number of deaths was very small, so people did not have prompt measures in order to deal with the Spanish pandemics. But as you see here, as the season moves to autumn and winter, there was a second wave, and the number of deaths increased and surged actually. The Europe and the United States and Korea all experienced the second wave compared to the first wave. We do not have prompt measures, and because of that, in the second wave, we can have the great havocs. So for the next few months, we should wait and see in order to figure out the developments of COVID-19. Then what is the COVID-19 situation in Korea? Where do we stand regarding COVID-19? When it comes to the number of cases across the world, the number is about 31 million, and number of deaths is about 1 million, and new cases are increasing across the world. So what I can say is the COVID-19 situation is deteriorating, and then the number is increasing. So when I see the number of figures from the various countries, the orange color is United States. The number is about 3 million, 4 million. And when it comes to the India, daily they have about 100,000 cases. The pink color is Brazil. The United States have an increasing number of new cases, and also the small and the medium-sized countries like a BRICS country, except for China, all other BRICS countries have the bad situation regarding COVID-19. That will have the bad influence regarding economic situations as well. And how about the Korean situation? This data is September 23rd. So as of September 23rd, and the number of cases in Korea was about 23,000, and number of deaths was about 388. And the number of the death cases is concentrated on the older generations. The population in their 80s have the 21% of fertility, and when it comes to the 70s, the number is about 6%, and the number of 60s is about 1.17% fertilities. So we should come up with the measures in order to prepare the older generations. So what will be the future developments? So you can see see the patterns between the first wave and the second wave. So when it comes to the Spain, the second wave is serious, and when it comes to the Israel, the first wave was well addressed, but when it comes to the second wave, they have a great difficulties indeed. The same situation in the European countries as well. There can be various interpretations regarding this. In the first the wave, there was the lockdown, but in the second wave, countries are reluctant to have a lockdown because of unemployment and also the economic situations. So the countries could not have the strong measures, so they have the difficulties regarding second wave. In Korea, we have still some capabilities in order to deal with the COVID-19 situation. So Korea is doing pretty well in the first wave as well as the second wave. So after the end of the second wave, I believe we can have the positive feedbacks regarding these policies. So the first wave has passed with good result in Korea, but there are dangerous factors indeed. Going through national holiday, we can have increasing number of new cases. So the Thanksgiving holiday can be one occasion. We might see increasing number of new cases. At the winter time, also we can have the twin endemics. The influenza and the COVID-19 can coexist in wintertime, then we can have the dire situation indeed. So we have greater concerns indeed. But with the development of a vaccine, the pandemic itself will subside. But before we experienced with the other virus, those virus can come back again as the seasonal flu. In 2 years and 3 years' time, the COVID-19 can settle as the seasonal flu and re-emerge again every time. So when it comes to the K-quarantine, I believe other speakers covered extensive the topics. No single country actually predicted COVID-19 cases and not fully prepared for this situation. But anyhow, in Korea, after experiencing COVID-19 first wave, we had the well-established measures. We had screening centers and also CTC, the Community Treatment Center. Based on these measures, Korea had a relatively good situation. Based on the experience from the first wave, when it comes to the second wave, Korea have a relatively good situation. Anyhow, Korea has a quite a good, strong and countermeasures. Now, I believe you already heard about 3T, test, trace, and treat. The treatments and the vaccines are not available for COVID-19, so against this backdrop, non-pharmacological intervention is necessary. So community measures are required and tracing the measures should be introduced in order to reduce number of new cases. Based on these the policies and measures, Korea had good situations. And also when it comes to the medical situation, Korea has a well-established medical institutions, and also Korea has the nationwide free the insurance schemes. That's why Korea have a great accessibility to treatments. The number of beds is pretty high in Korea, so we could handle the increasing number of COVID-19 cases. And also the intensive care unit is well established in Korea. And also in Korea, we have the openness and transparency regarding COVID-19. The democratic government has the well-established governance. Because of that, we could have the great countermeasures against the COVID-19. Together with the private sectors, the government, the public sector have the great the countermeasures. Korea did not have lockdown measures, but by implementing the social distancing measures, Korea had a relatively good situation. So we are quite proud of these situations. So how Korea's the quarantine measures are evaluated, and this is the data from the end of March. The Korean data is a purple color. So the number of cases increased to 10 and 101,000, as you see here. But in very preemptive measures, Korea have introduced various measures. Even though Korea did not have lockdown measures, unlike other countries, Korea had great countermeasures. So at the end of March, Korea had good evaluations. SDG report was published by international body, and this paper talk about COVID-19 cases. As you see here, actually the aspect has been evaluated. One is the disease the control. The second is mitigation on economic impacts. So at the end of the May, Korea was highly evaluated in this paper. So in upcoming the October and November, we are going to have a new paper, and that will evaluate the measures implemented in August and September. If we have good countermeasures of a national holiday, which is a Thanksgiving Day, we can have a good feedback in this second paper as well. The national government are making great effort in order to control COVID-19. This the diagram talks about how well the central government actually are doing regarding countermeasures. You can see the German data and the Korea and the United States data. Korea have the well-established test system, so based on that, the COVID-19 has been subsided. But when it comes to the Germany, the number of tests increased at the beginning of March, and also the United States actually 1 month behind that of Korea. So what I can say is, compared to other countries, from the initial stage, Korean government have preemptive measures. So that's why we have the relatively good result regarding the COVID-19 control. And next, I'd like to talk about social distancing measures which have been implemented for the last few months in Korea. There have been the various opinions about the social distancing, and also there have been various levels. So 1.5 and 2 and 3, there are various levels when it comes to social distancing. Those the terms coined by the media outlets, but anyhow, what I want to say is by implementing social distancing, we can have good the COVID-19 control. So in the schools, the online and the lectures and offline lectures they provided to students in order to have a better control of COVID-19. And in the future, we are going to make a further effort in order to develop vaccines and the treatments. But before we have those vaccines and treatment, it is necessary to implement social distancing measures. So this is the effectiveness of the social distancing. This is a graph from the paper Science. So about 90% of the population participate in social distancing, then the result is like this. So the number of cases is very low, but only 40% of the population participate, then the result is this. And only 10 or 20% of the population participate in social distancing, then the result is the more or same with the no interventions. So this diagram shows it is important to have a very strong social distancing measures. So now we actually have the level 2 social distancing, and there are various opinions to modify these measures. Before the August 19, we had the level 1 social distancing measures, and after the August 19th, Korea introduced the level 2 social distancing measures. When it comes to the level 1, the number of spectators in sports and the complex restricted. When it comes to the level 2, there is no spectators in sports complex. When it comes to the level 3, no gathering of more than 10, and the measures will be introduced. And the high risk, the facilities and medium risk facilities cannot have any the people indoors. And also there is no offline and the lectures at schools. So those are the different measures. Even though we introduced the level 3 of social distancing, that is different from the lockdown which we introduced in other countries, but still that is quite a strong measures. Many people have a great concern that as we go into level 3, that will have a great impact on economic activities. So Korean government did not introduce a level 3 of social distancing, but still we should have some modifications regarding these social distancing measures. The level 2 still give great burdens on the economic aspects. So the adjustment should be introduced. So what I want to suggest is it is important to have a new kind of a criteria in order to divide the high-risk facilities, medium-risk facilities, and low-risk facilities. Even though one and the venue is classified as a high-risk facility, there can be some changes because the number of cases in that the venue will be very low in some cases, then that the location can be shifted to medium level risk. And in other case, the venue was categorized as a medium risk locations, but if there are high number of new cases from that venue, then that medium the risk the venue can be shifted to high risk the venue. So there can be some the measures which can be implemented in flexible manner. The Central Disease Control Headquarters and the Central Disease Management Headquarters can participate in order to have the working groups, in order to have better measures regarding social distancing and taxation and other financial support can be provided from central government when it comes to the high-risk facilities. The flexible measures should be introduced in order to have a better management of social distance. The restaurants and the cafes and bars and those facilities are currently categorized as a high-risk facilities, but by having better social distancing measures, we can enhance the safety of those venues. Then we can coexist with the COVID-19. That can be new normal. Next is about the medical the institutions. When the pandemic case occurs, when there are infections in the medical institutions, that will have great damages indeed. So it is necessary to have great protection of those facilities. But as we witnessed in the COVID-19 cases, nursing hospitals had a number of cluster outbreaks, and also the general hospitals had dissimilar cases. In this case, in closed ward, the outbreak occurred. And 103 the patients were hospitalized in this hospital, but out of 103, 101 patients they tested as a positive. So that was great the problems indeed. This is the measures to implement and the countermeasures. The general hospitals and big size hospitals have the great resources to handle pandemic cases, but nursing hospitals and medium-sized hospitals do not have the great resources, so the government support is required. And when the patient actually enters these facilities without control, then the outbreak can occur in very fast speed. So the gate control should be introduced in prompt manner. And the medical, the people should be well protected. Nursing hospitals and nursing facilities should be under the close monitoring. So based on that, we can reduce the number of cluster outbreaks. Next one is about respiratory disease. And after the autumn and as we go into winter, there can be twindemic cases where the influenza and the COVID-19 coexist. Then that will be a great problem indeed. The clinics, and actually they need to have the specimen collections, but they do not have necessary facilities and human resources. So what is required? I'd like to make some suggestions regarding that. Respiratory clinics and also the small size clinics, and they can provide necessary services. The Korean government have a plan that the 500 new respiratory the clinic can be established in the year 2020, and additional 500 will be introduced in 2021. And about 100 million Korean won will be supported in order to equip those facilities in small-sized clinics. But there is no support regarding operations. If there are the small number of patients because of a great quarantine, then these clinics cannot have a high number of patients. Then they cannot secure the necessary the incomes in order to operate those facilities, then government provide financial support so that those clinics can have the stable operations. And designated public relief hospitals and the screening centers can be integrated, and based on that, better the response can be made. The specimen collections can be made in designated public relief hospital and the screening center, and also the medications and treatment can be provided in those facilities. So it is necessary to have an integrated system between designated public relief hospital and the screening center. And when we have two endemics, what kind of measures we can develop? As I said, respiratory clinics will be established. And as I said, in the year 2020, the Korean government is planning to establish 500 respiratory clinics, and another 500 will be established in the year 2021. So the financial support should be provided, and also the rapid agent test, the facilities should be provided in small-sized clinics. When there is the positive case of influenza, then the Tamiflu can be provided to the patient, but if there is no development regarding symptoms after 1 or 2 days, and they can be sent to the screening centers. And also the influenza and the COVID-19 can be co-tested. So multiplex PCR can be introduced. Based on that, we can have a fast diagnosis. Influenza and COVID-19 and cases, well, if the patient with those the symptom visit small-size clinics, then a non-contact the diagnosis can be made, and also the healthcare, the personnel, they can wear the personal protective gears. And specimen collections can be made if the small clinic has the facility, but if they do not have those facilities, and the tablets like oseltamivir and pemamivir, and those can be provided to patients. And if there is no advancement regarding the symptoms, that is okay. But if there are the development cases, then the patient will be sent to the screening centers. And COVID-19 PCR can be provided in that case. And when it comes to the health center, they only provide COVID-19 PCR. So if that result is a negative, then patient will send to the hospital so that patient can have influenza test. When it comes to the small size clinics, and they have great concerns about exposure to the pandemics. So it is necessary to have personal protective gears, and it is important to ask the patient to wear face masks in order to reduce the spread of COVID-19. So these are the necessary measures, and if clinics want to have information about this, I'm willing to share this data. Clinics and small-sized hospitals, and they should have well-established systems, and based on that, we can have a better control of the COVID-19. And for the severe cases, it is important to have a well-established systems. So when the patient have respiratory symptoms and pneumonia-related symptoms, then the special ward can be provided for the treatment of those patients. And for the upcoming third waves and fourth waves, in order to better handle the number of increasing cases, and it is important to have an increasing number of intensive units. And also the ward structure itself can be modified in the future. So now we have the large size ward which accommodate more than 5 or 6 patients, but it's better to have the single occupancy or double occupancy the ward. And also we need to have the hospitals without guardians, and also it is important to reduce the number of visits. Next one is about the vaccines. There are vaccine rates across the world, and there are various COVID-19 vaccine platforms. RNA virus and other vaccines which inject COVID-19 virus in order to develop vaccines. United States and the United Kingdom and China is leading the vaccine race. And I believe between July and September next year, the United States will have the vaccinations against all the populations. Now in Korea, the SK Bioscience and the Genexins and the Jinhua Life Science are developing vaccines. But in order to have the vaccine and the commercializations, we should wait until the end of next year, the early of the following year. But Korea is acting as the CMO, so on a contract basis, the Korean bio companies are developing vaccines from United States and the United Kingdom. So by securing license, Korea can produce the vaccines. About 30 million vaccines can be secured based on this. So based on this, the CMO schemes, and we can have the high number of vaccines. So by the end of next year, the minimum number of vaccines can be secured. There is a differences regarding the technology level. So Korea is a bit behind compared to other the leading countries, but still Korea is developing vaccines. Korea is quite a fast followers regarding vaccine developments. Initially, there was the use of hydroxychloroquine, but the number of the papers said there is no benefit from that. And Kaletra was also introduced, but no benefit from that, and no benefit observed from that. So that is not used in Korea. So when it comes to the patient which requires the supply of the oxygen, remdesivir is applied. So the free of charge remdesivir is provided to severe COVID-19 cases in Korea. The various research and phase 2 clinical research are undergoing, so we should wait in order to see the developments. So in the future, we have a great expectation regarding plasma developments and antigen treatments. And when it comes to the plasma, actually we collect antigen from the COVID-19 and the patient. After recovering from COVID-19, antigen is degenerated inside the body, so we collect that one and develop the medicines. So we should collect blood from the COVID-19, the recovery cases. So it's a mass production is not possible because we need to collect blood first. But at the end of this year, there will be further developments. At the bottom of the slide, you can see monochloride antibody. That is antibody-based treatments. Well, as I introduced, the antigen will be used. So zinc recombinations, and those will be made, and those can be cultivated in the animals and the plants, so that the mass production is possible. Celltrion and Samsung Biologics have capabilities in order to implement zinc recombinations, and Celltrion is quite advanced. So when things go according to the schedule, at the beginning of next year, we can have quite effective treatments for the COVID-19. Well, actually, we talk about the post-corona, but now we talk about with corona because we need to coexist with the COVID-19. The COVID-19 that will come back as a seasonal flus in the future, and we are going to have another new cases of a virus and pandemics. So it is important to have a new kind of system. So we cannot just wait the end of the virus. So we should have the better measures and countermeasures in order to deal with the virus situations, pandemic situations. Actually, we had kind of together cultures, having meals together and a cup of tea together. But in the future, we are going to have increasing the non-contact culture, the social distancing measures, and the other preemptive measures will be introduced in the future. So based on that, we can have a better disease control. The economic the impact should be mitigated, and the health the measures should be introduced, and those should be implemented at the same time. And respiratory treatment system should be enhanced, and also the hospital culture should be changed. Currently, accessibility to hospital is very high in Korea, but number of visits to hospital need to be reduced, and also public health scheme should be strengthened. Based on that, we can have a better measures in order to deal with the COVID-19 cases. If there are any questions, please send the questions to my email address. So I just shared some the ideas about the national measures in order to deal with the COVID-19. I talk about health measures and economic measures in the future. We should come up with the various measures based on the collaborations between the healthcare, the professionals, and the government officials. Based on that, we can have a better stabilized situation regarding COVID-19. Thank you.